Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to Hits and Heels. This is Coach Terri Bryant. It's Tuesday night, a new time. I know it's a little early to what y'all usually expect us to come on, but it's 6:30 because I have I have to moderate another podcast at 8 o'clock, and we don't get all our intel from Kelz in enough. So today I wanted to make sure that she has enough time to fill us in on all the tea. Because Kelz, how about them freaking Cowboys coming back from behind 21 points in the first half to come and win at the end?
Listen. That team of ours gave us the blues.
I know everybody was turning. I was turning the TV. I was falling asleep the first half. I said, "Here we go with this foolishness."
You know what? Somebody else said the same thing, and I said, I wish I had that luxury to just like, oh, I'm over this game. I'm a turn
I
off.
didn't. I kept
And
obviously I kept
can't.
watching. I
I
kept watching.
can't.
Yes, and I'm glad that I did.
I can't because I'm like, I got these podcast shows to do. Everybody, we got to talk about the game. I said, I wish I had that luxury where I could just, what, I'm over it. I'm done with it. I'm not going to watch it. But yeah, that we put B2A or BTA, there we go, BTA in that second half. There were so many
Totally
things.
shut them down.
Yes, we did not give them no points in the first half. I'm happy about that. It was just something to watch. I just don't know. It was just so many things. We held hold on, let me get my notes. We held Barkley to
Oh my God, under 100. Like it was like minuscule on what he normally does.
So Barkley 10 carries, 22 yards.
Yeah.
But the Eagles total rushing yards was 18 carries for 63 yards.
Only 63 yards.
And the only ones that was rushing was Barkley, of course, Barkley and Jalen Hurts. It was a game. And shout out to, I think one of the best parts I liked was Elijah Clark.
Elijah Clark, if he don't get a check, something.
He needs something.
He needs something.
He
A GoFundMe or something, because the level of effort. You know what I mean? Like I said that to my son because I was like, this is what you need to send to all your teammates. Like this is the and now you have a visual of the expectation of what hustle and fortitude and resilience and tenacity and all of that wrapped in one looks like when I'm asking people to either play fast and to play hard and to play like you want to win.
Right.
I don't know how else to describe it because a perfect, I mean, his video, and I've seen it, several people have reposted the video, but I made sure that I saved it because next year when I go against my team, I'm gonna be like, when we talk about the level of effort, look the adversity he went through, but he didn't quit. He still stayed after it. Yes. Oh my God. We can probably just talk about that.
Like he tripped like 2 or 3 times.
Like the dude pushed him
before
over.
Before he got to the returner and knocked that ball out, and Trent Sig recovered it. That was like the momentum. And then right after that, Osa Odigizua, shout out to Osa, he sacked Jalen Hurts that made him fumble, and then we got the ball again. It was just so.
Yeah. I
It was
mean,
so many plays, but
it was so many plays. I think the catch in double coverage um was key because again, that was effort.
it and you know what? It's and it's sad, like a lot of this stuff happened, of course, in the second half, because I said we're
Yes.
either
Everything's a second half because
we're going to shut it down.
we was trash the first half. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Trash.
it but I did see some things because it was some hiccups in the first half as far as with the Eagles too. I mean, yeah, we gave them 21 points, but there was a lot of things that was going on in that first half with the Eagles. So I was looking at it both ways. I'm like, we're literally giving them the game. But shout out to Flus because he ran that 5-man front with them. And one thing I do, especially when it comes to the Eagles, I always go listen to Philly Sports Report when they play. And sometimes I listen to them when we getting ready to play them as well. When Jalen Hurts, Patullo, and Vic Fangio, and I love Fangio, but I hate him at the same time. When they said that they were not prepared for this brand new 5-man front that the Cowboys is now playing, they were not prepared for it.
And so, a 50 front is totally normal when you're wanting to shut down the run. You know, and I'm surprised that they don't see a 50 front more because the 50 front is specifically to shut down the run.
But
I mean, I'm crazy. It's crazy that they're like they weren't prepared for that. But good.
Because
Good for y'all.
honestly, we have, even before Flus came in, when we had Mike Nolan, Dan Quinn, and Zimmer, they were basically running a base 4-3 defense.
Yeah.
So we were not running the 5-man. And we just started running the 5-man when we acquired the trades during our bye week, because when we had our bye week, that was also the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. So we got Logan Wilson, and then we got Quinion Williams, and mm-hmm. that's when the 5-man front started. And now they're doing rotation, so they rotating
in and out
of our D linemen out. And then I'm thinking that Demo was going to QB spy Jalen Hurts, but they had him all over Barkley.
Well, I just think that again, the first thing you got to do against the Eagles is stop the run or stop Barkley. Yeah. And they did a fantastic job of that. I think even Barkley said that he's like, I just haven't been my best this year. And I don't think it's that you haven't been your best this year. Is that now we got you on film with the Eagles.
Yeah. And then we also exposed a lot of their stuff in all 3 phases of that team. We have exposed a lot. It was and I think the only few gripes that I have is I wouldn't have had Deron Bland on AJ Brown.
Okay.
But I mean, I understand the way that the secondary room looks right now. No, it wasn't Deron Bland. They put Savon Revel. That's what it was. They put Savon Revel on Deron Bland. I don't think that was a good idea. Then you had your receivers for this is the 3rd game that I've seen it. You had your receivers going in the backfield. I did not like that. Then you had Cavante Turpin on the outside and not in the slant when you put him in to the receiving area. He should have been in the slot. Uh CeeDee Lamb, I don't know what it is. He has 7 drop passes this year versus the Eagles. He did 4 in week 1 and 3.
Listen,
And I don't know. I don't know. He needs to get out of his head. I don't know what is going.
he is the game is mental, and we talk
Yeah,
about that all the time, that the game is mental. And so I don't know if he was just in his head so much that, okay, let me not drop these balls like I did last time. But they were right in the gut, literally in your hands. That's what you get paid for. If I was Michael Irvin,
agree.
if I was Dez Bryant, I'm calling this joke and be like, you need to change your jersey number because you are not representing.
But see, he really wasn't supposed to have that number to begin with.
Yeah, he hasn't earned that number. Not like that, because you're getting paid because you're supposed to be him. When it comes, you're supposed to be one of the best wide receivers in the league, and you're dropping routine passes.
Yeah.
You can't blame it on Dak overthrowing it, underthrowing it, or throwing it behind you, throwing it too far. You can't. You're not having to
But
make
there
a play.
was
You're not
a couple
to catch the ball. It's coming right to you.
Yeah. And there was a couple, like that one in particular that I think that set him off. That particular play, this was the play that they ran in practice. So that was supposed to be like right in the end zone. So that ball was actually 5 yards underthrown. So when he saw what that when Dak released that ball and where he saw where it was, he was right in the end zone. Then he had to run back out the end zone to try to catch up with that ball. And that's, I don't know what's going on with Dak as far as that, but a lot of even with Pickens, some of those plays was underthrown where they running their routes, but when they see that ball is not where it's supposed to be, they have to run back to try to get it. But
that's football. The ball is
right.
never going to be perfectly thrown. You know,
Right.
he's under duress. I mean, he's okay. So you're a quarterback. You're in the pocket, and you're looking to not get sacked. And you're trying to find, your receiver.
Right.
And you're hoping that they're running the route that they're supposed to run, that they're supposed to. So if the rush is coming quicker than what he expects it to be, it's gonna be a rush pass.
Right.
I mean, that's just
agree.
a part of the game. But y'all make too much money. You know it's gonna be. You need to already assume, how am I gonna make an adjustment to this ball if it's underthrown or if it's overthrown, or what do I need to do? You need to track the ball as soon as it goes up in the air, and then you need to make a play.
Yeah.
When it's hitting you dead in the hands or dead in the gut, I don't there's no excuse for me.
Right. I agree.
Whether it's underthrown or overthrown or too high, but it still hits you in your hands.
Right.
Catch the ball. Catch the ball, CD.
I was like, I wasn't even calling him CD. I was calling him by his actual name. I was like,
right,
Sedarian,
exactly.
Sedarian, let's go. But one thing I did notice with hold on, let me go to my game notes preparing for this game.
But this is my thing, even what you said about even AJ Brown. AJ Brown has 67 yards in the first quarter. But after that,
yeah, he got his one. I think it was 130, 130 yards. I know it was 100.
I thought it was only 5 catches for 67 yards. In the first quarter, what did he end with?
I think that's what I'm saying. I think he ended with 100 yards. Yeah, he did. He ended with 100 yards. Over 100 yards.
Okay, because he didn't have another. He didn't get another catch until like the fourth quarter.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So he did close out with a with over 100 yards. And one thing that, like I said, I do give props and credit where it's due. And I know a lot of Eagles fans, they're not feeling their OC, Kevin Petula, but him and their Jeff Stoutland, their O-line coach, they did good protecting Jalen Hurts. Because one thing about it, because my thing was like, Jalen Hurts, he is a mobile quarterback. As soon as he see that pocket collapse, his eyes go down and his feet take off. But they did a good, I give them props. They did good containing the D line for a certain amount of time to avoid the pressure coming to him. So they did good as far as in the pocket. And one thing, like with Dak, when Dak saw and they ran the cover 6, they did run the cover 6 a couple of times. And when Dak saw what they were doing in that cover 6, and they saw that they left out, and that's another thing too. So the Eagles defense, their pre-snap communication is totally different from their post-snap. So as soon as they line up, and when it's pre-snap, it looks one way, but as soon as that ball snap,
yeah,
everything switches. So when Dak saw that they left out, because they went into man on the pre-snap, but as soon as that ball snapped, they went straight into zone. And when and then that's when it went into the cover 6. So as soon as Dak saw that, he immediately switched to zone. And he went straight, and who went right in the middle? Because we was talking about that on the other show that I was on the pregame, that during these 10, 11 weeks of football, the Eagles' middle has been left wide open. And who's the perfect person on our offense to be in the middle? None other than Jake Ferguson. He ran right in the middle and caught. I was like, they got, because I'm watching everything. Like, I'm watching everything. It's like 100 TVs.
I mean, that's
where I'm at.
one of the best plays for a tight end. My husband is a defensive coach, and he says it is so hard to account for the tight end.
Yeah.
He says I'm surprised that more people don't use tight ends more. Because you sometimes you don't account for it. Most of the time they're just in there for the block. And
Right.
no, but if you use them like the way Kansas City uses Kelce, you it's hard, especially if they're strong or Kittle. If they're strong and big and like that, where they can block but they're still fast and got good hands, that's tough to stop.
It is.
And I think Ferguson is making a name for himself, definitely at the tight end spot.
Yeah, he's doing a bang up job. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of him. But it was so many good things that I liked about the game, especially in that second half. It was a good game. I mean, it was a good. I don't like roller coasters. The Cowboys
It was
roller
definitely a
coasters.
roller coaster ride, that's for sure. But the second half was a great
It
game.
was.
And not because we won. I think it was just the lessons. You know what I mean? Even outside of Elijah, it's like 21 points, and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can still, as long as it's not 5 minutes in the fourth quarter and you're down, that might be a little tough. But when you still got time, anything's possible. And
Yeah.
I think when they got, oh my God, what was it, 3 minutes left? And we had them at third and 2
Mm-hmm.
when we got the sack. Oh my God.
Yeah, and that was
Like,
another thing. Like,
I don't know if you could have called up a better blitz because
yeah,
everybody had their man and Jalen had nowhere to go and he held on the ball too long and he ended up, getting the sack and then they had to punt. So at that point, we still had plenty of time to, get on the board to tie that game. So it was just
yeah. And one thing, like when it came to us, when we could have closed the game out, but it went like Fergie dropped the ball right there at the 1 yard line. But that's when Osa came back and we got the ball back and everything.
yeah.
I would have went for the points right there.
I would have went for the points.
I would have went for it.
I think I would have went for the.
Yeah.
You talk about the field goal.
The field goal. I would have went for the
Yes,
field
yes,
goal.
yes, 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 yes. I'd have kicked the field goal at that point.
But
I'm gonna go for the point. Now when Mr. Clutch, now this is when I got nervous in the first half when I was ready to turn the TV off was when Mr. Clutch missed the field goal. I said, "Oh, we in trouble."
Yeah, we left a lot of points on
When he missed the field
field.
goal, I said, "Oh, this is gonna be a long game."
But that catch by George Pickens.
But the catch by George Pickens in between in double coverage.
Yes.
And it was underthrown.
And he
like you
jumped
said,
over
and
those,
it was
and he jumped over
underthrown.
those two
So he
safeties.
jumped over them both to get that. But you know what though? As I sit and think about it, the height that he had to go to get that, you know what I mean? Did I would love to ask Dak if he knew he was gonna. Did you place the ball because you knew he was gonna go up and get it like that?
So
Or did you just launch it and then you threw it high enough, hoping that then if he misses it because it was double coverage, you didn't risk the interception?
So from the interview that I watched, he basically said that Fergie gave him, because it was first down, because when Fergie made that catch, I think it was at the 48 or the 49 yard line, that gave field goal range. So it would have been like a 60 something, a 60 something yard field goal attempt. But Pickens was like, nope, let's run it again. And they was like, because him and Pickens was talking, and they were saying, oh, we only need like 10 yards to get into like the 30, and it could be like a 40 or 50 yard line attempt. But when that ball snapped and he went straight to those two safeties, and the height he put on to catch it. So
That's
that's
what I'm talking about. Like he had to go get it.
And that was something, because I think that ball was a little too high, because I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh Lord,
That's what I'm trying to tell you, because he high pointed it.
Yes. Because had that ball, if Pickens wasn't there,
didn't high point it and jump when he did, it would have went right over his head.
Not only that, but if Pickens didn't get to that ball in time, or to where those safeties were, that would have been a clean pick right there. That would have ended the game right there.
Yes.
But I don't know how much. I don't know what was in the Gatorade.
I don't know. Between Pickens and Clark, their level of effort is textbook on
Yes.
on how you want players to freaking play. Make a freaking play and give 100% effort.
Yes.
And I just don't know how much better it can get than that, because definitely those two plays, I'm gonna keep them on, like I said, in an album on my phone, so that when the season comes back up and I'm coaching my kids, that I use both of those examples when I'm talking to them about what the expectation is and what that looks like. Because sometimes it's hard to explain to them what that looks like.
Yeah.
But those two are great teaching moments for especially somebody like me that's a coach, because I mean the effort. Oh my God. Like we got a must win this weekend with my
Oh,
son's team. And I that's how I need them to play.
and
That's how we need
speaking,
them to play.
and let's speak on this game, because I know we gotta close out real
We got time.
soon for the other one. But that game, oh my gosh. I'm glad we won, because one, I don't have to hear no
Oh my God. So
fly
just
Eagles fly,
oh my
whatever.
God. I mean the level of ignorance that's getting ready to be on this next podcast that comes on at 8 o'clock is gonna be off the rock.
Crazy.
I have a real good friend who she talks smack. And she's an Eagles fan and her husband is a Cowboys fan. And she gives her husband the blues. And normally she makes a post in the group and whatever like that, and it's been crickets. I haven't seen nothing from her. Nothing.
And you know what?
Never a word.
I have never dated anyone that was an Eagles fan, and I don't think I would have survived that. I would have. I like, you know what? You cool and all, but this ain't gonna work. It's been a couple
Listen,
of.
it don't bother me. My husband is a 49ers fan. It don't bother me
I think
at all.
a Eagles fan will bother me more. It will, because when you look
Because
at
it's
it,
the same division.
not only the same division, but their fans. I mean,
They fans.
everybody, they talk about us.
Yeah. They're fanatics like we are. I thought Cowboys fans, but yes, the Eagles fan. I mean, they had to go into the group and and check everybody again for the 11th time because of the level of disrespect and the name calling and oh my God, it's not that serious.
It's not. And my thing is, I like to, kiki, ha ha,
I do too.
fun,
Yeah, absolutely.
fun trash talk. But when you jump out there with me, then my mouth, I know my mouth is reckless during football season. But if you come at me wrong, my mouth gets very reckless, and you're going to regret even.
I can be very disrespectful. I can
Yes.
be very disrespectful. That's right. And I hate that. But I've had to learn to not let anybody take me out of my character like that, because it's just a game. We ain't getting paid.
No,
Nan,
we're not.
we done spent so much money on gear and familiar and and Sunday tickets and all that type of stuff. Nah, it's not
Yeah. And
not
one
worth it for
thing,
me coming out of character for.
and
I
one
just and
thing,
I don't understand that. I'll be honestly,
right.
that's just a level of maturity
Yeah.
that to me that just shows immaturity. We
Yeah.
just got to learn how to be grown folks, and I just don't understand. And I'll be honest, I don't understand why people can't just root for their own team. Why do you have to bash other teams?
Right.
Like just because I mean, it's like eating.
Or how about this? How about this? They have no problem calling us, cowgirls and
Oh yeah,
but when you turn it around and you call their team out, that's not my team. Well, the cowgirls or whatever is not my team name. So
yeah,
I'm like this, and I do have that whole protocol, like turnabout is fair play. So
yeah.
if you don't want it done to you, then don't do it to me.
And don't dish it out. Don't dish it out at all.
But
Yeah,
like
don't
I
dish
said,
it out.
God knows I am. He knows I'm a work in progress. He knows my heart, and he only knows. I tell people I'm only 35% saved.
Facts. Well,
So
I
when
know,
you
I know
jump
one
out
of the
there with
things.
me, when you jump
Yeah,
out there with me, you're going to regret even,
yeah. I'm not getting ready. I'm not getting ready to let people have the satisfaction of getting me out of my character.
Yeah.
Now I do want to go back to say that I'm a hypocrite. Where I'm a hypocrite at is like I really, really, really hate when people are bashing players and coaches and like, especially if you're a couch coach, or especially if you know, like why do you feel the entitlement of being able to talk reckless about somebody like that when you can't do what they do, right? And but so this is where I'm a hypocrite at, because when I tell you I was mad at some CD Lamb for dropping them freaking balls.
Mm-hmm. And I think everybody's
I was
entitled to.
mad. So that, we're talking about getting out of character. Like, he got me out of character because I was talking bad about him, because I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What
I
the
think I think now
ball?
I think now in the grand scheme of things, because with what happened to Marshawn and everything, and one thing I have never done is I have never, especially and I'm gonna be real, when it comes to black men, okay, I never called them trash. I
Yeah.
never, called them out of their names, regardless of what
What
happened and
happened?
all this other stuff. I never gonna call a black man trash or you're this or you're that, because right now when it comes to black men and mental health, you never know. Like, words speaks power in actions over people, and you don't want anything to happen to somebody and the last thing you have said was, oh, I called this person a SOB, I called this person
Right.
worthless, I called this person trash and everything.
So you literally spoke death into their life. Yeah.
Right, you spoke,
Yeah.
yeah, you spoke light, what is the thing, life is in the power of
Of
their
the
hand.
tongue.
Yeah, yeah.
Like death is in the power of the tongue.
Right.
Hmm.
So we have to be careful. And I did a podcast, and I know there's some whites in there,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot of whites calling Dak Prescott names
Oh, I
or
know.
any
I
other
mean,
play, and
and it's not just Dak. It's Angel
anybody.
Reese and
Yes.
just other players, and I'm like, I mean, and we get it even with our kids, on with our team here at Kentucky. I
Right.
have to say, I have to, my son bought, muffed a couple of punts on punt return. We didn't lose the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he recovered them both, but God dang, they
Yeah.
came after him like he
And
like
it's
he was just, and I'm like, okay, my baby hasn't returned a punt in 3 years since high school. Now they got him on his junior year in college in front of 60,000 people in person and millions of people on TV and under the lights. Oh, come on. You couldn't
yeah.
do that. You couldn't
And my
do that.
thing,
That's
it's
a lot of
okay.
pressure.
And it's okay because even I say it a couple of times, like, like the play calling wasn't his best. It was kind of crazy. It was dumb. But the thing is, I have not called near person
Yeah. Just
dumb and all
dumb.
this
Yeah.
other stuff. So, and like when on another podcast I did, when everything happened with Marshawn, I just basically put it out there. I said, I hope this serves as a lesson to be careful when you talk about play, especially on social media, because a lot of these
Especially
players
because sometimes I don't care
aren't
what
on
they say. Some
social.
of them are saying that they're not on there, but you're not getting ready to tell me that a lot of them are not getting on social media, and or somebody else is, in their circle is screenshotting, what people are saying. And hey, Tiffany, about to pull you on. You ready? Um, what other people are saying, you know,
Yeah.
um, And so you just never know. Sorry about that. I just dropped the mic a little bit.
Hey, girl.
Girl, hey.
Yeah, and like you said, you just never know. Like, and I hear
You
players
just
all the
never
time
know.
saying,
Yes.
oh, I don't feed into what people saying on so, but I know you are reading it, and someone could
Yeah.
say something, and like I said, we don't know what Marshawn Nealon's last moments was. You don't know, and we know that he he's dealing with the grieving with the death of his mom at the time because everything happened in 2024. She passed in February, 2 weeks before the combine. Then he was drafted. She wasn't there. I mean, she was there spiritually. And then, all these things happened. And then when I saw him, when the team came up here in November of 2024, everyone's like, oh, you can see the sadness in his eyes and stuff. I said, they just had a long plane ride.
Right. So you
Got
can't
here
just
too late.
assume.
You can't base it off of that. But he
Right.
came downstairs and we was playing cards and we was both trash talking each other at the card table and stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but still, and he had the best laugh and the smile, very hospitable, mannerable, and everything. But still, you just don't know what's going on in a person's mind.
No,
And
right.
anytime a play, and I'm sorry, I'm not saying that a player is lying or I don't believe them or anything like that, but you just, players could be reading and stuff. And if they're already dealing with a lot of I don't want to say mental issues, but if they already got the weight of the world already on them, and
I
then
mean,
they
I just
seeing
can't
this stuff.
imagine a lot of these players because a lot of times these players are the savior for their family.
Exactly.
And that's a lot of pressure. We're
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard for me not to go and talk about mine, but we have to ask Ty all the time, are you okay?
Yeah.
Um, are you happy playing? Because I feel like he was forced. I feel like even though we say, hey, if you want to walk away from this, he knew better.
Yeah. And speaking of which, when once we get off, because it's on this iPad that I'm on this live
Okay.
now, but I do have the list of the NFL psychologists. I do have
You
that list. I do.
do. Oh yeah. You need to send me that because I need
You
that.
you don't think I was working my magic
Oh
out
yes. Oh my
and
God,
getting
yes.
stuff?
That's good. Because I got to figure out who I could email to see who will come on my show so that we could just talk, because we could talk about that's like a once a month type of thing. It's talking about just the mental health part of sports, how
Yeah.
we can help these kids and how we can prevent them. Because matter of fact, this is tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be 3 years where one of my son's teammates unalived himself, and we were on the show. We were broadcasting,
Mm-hmm.
and Ty called us while we were live. And then he was blowing me up. And if you go, matter of fact, I didn't even edit it or anything. You can go back, and I was like, I said, Ty just called my phone. He called his phone first. My husband didn't answer. Then he called my phone, and you
Mm-hmm.
can hear me say, "Hey, can you go check on Ty to see what's that?" And then you could just hear him just hysterical on the phone. I mean, and it was
Yeah.
just heartbreaking.
And I know as far as the Cowboys, they had something similar to that when I want to say 2018 or 2019, and we was playing in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it wasn't our normal 4-year rotation. It's just that we had the same ranking in our divisions and we played each other. But during the whole game, you know how sometimes after the game is over with, the players will stay back, do interviews, they will dap it up with, you know, people on
Yeah.
the opposing team. They do the jersey swap and all that other stuff. Jason Garrett got told everybody to go into the locker room and all this other stuff. And that's when Michael Gallup, our wide receiver, found out that during the game his brother committed suicide.
Mm.
Now, Tiffany, when did Dak's brother It was
Gosh,
in
I
the spring,
want to
wasn't
say
it? Was it during spring?
It
I
was
want to
during
say
the
that was
draft, the week of the draft, 2020.
2020. Yeah, 2020.
April 2020, the week of the draft. I want to say like the draft happens that Wednesday, and then I think they made the announcement that Thursday during the second round. So he actually died, committed suicide the first day of the draft, which was that whatever that Wednesday was.
Mm. It's definitely something that I think. So between the CTE, the safety of the players and their mental health, the league has to make those two things a priority, and
Yeah.
not just the league. All youth sports, college sports, all sports that has a football program has to make that both of those a priority at
Yeah.
this point. So Tiff, what's up, sis?
Hey, listen, I know I'm just jumping in on the conversation, but you know, just listening to all of this and and quite frankly, as someone who has experienced a tremendous amount of grief over the past 5 years, nobody who didn't really know me would know either that I was experiencing that. And you just, because you learn to function with it, you learn to just go about your day and do the things that you need to do every day. That's why it's just so important to have somebody that is a professional, that has nothing invested in you to speak to, and also um I always just recommend to have a spiritual anchor too. That has always been my saving grace. I always say that the best coping mechanism that my mother gave me was to introduce me to the Lord. Like that's me and how I got through it. But I say that to say that it doesn't surprise me that there were so many people who were so close to this situation and didn't know that he was feeling that way.
Yeah.
And especially with men, right? Because they can't
Yeah.
even show it. Like if I had broken down at my desk at work, I would have had people be like, "Oh, you okay?"
Yeah.
But
he's looked as weak.
Exactly. So I just pray that it's definitely better now, but there's still a stigma with seeking and talking to somebody about your mental health, about depression, and about the pressure of having all of these people who need something from you, and are counting on you. And like, even if they don't need anything from you, like there are aunts, uncles that showed up and drove them to practice and made sandwiches and did all these people are like, okay, so what you gonna do now? You know what I mean? That you have this success. So I think a few years ago, I had breakfast with Monique Smith and a lot of the ladies from Chat in the Garden, and there were nothing but women who were sports therapists there. They were there for a conference, and I was so inspired by the number of women, and the number of Black women who are standing guard for some of these athletes that need help. Yeah.
Oh my God, you just mentioned Monique Smith. So it's her magazine right there. I think that's her latest edition right there. But Monique is, oh my God, she's probably one of my favorite people because of the space that she's in. And if you are a Black woman that wants to be in this type of a space, athletics, she is the go-to and she is the guru, and she knows and is connected to everybody when it comes to sports. Yeah, thank you for mentioning Monique. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what did you think of the game?
So tell us let's hear your feedback from the game.
Listen, so the first half, honestly, like I was like, what do we do? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
And I kid you not, like I honestly started getting in like inside myself and just started like, okay, like this is what you got to do. Like, and honestly, like my husband was laughing at me because as I was saying, I was like, He's gonna fumble the ball right now, and he fumbled the ball. I'm like, I need to say we about to win the lottery.
Right.
That's how crazy I feel like the second half was. Like it was like nobody gave up. I was so proud of that.
My goodness.
Led the team. Special team stepped up.
Yes.
And made plays. Like everybody was making the defense.
Yes.
I was so
excited. God. Yeah, we were talking about the play by Elijah Clark.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over. It went viral. That video went viral. Just the level of effort. Now, I was telling Kelz that it's now a teaching point for me for my kids.
Yeah,
because of the level of effort that he did. And then when George Pickens caught that ball, we was talking about how it was high.
Yeah,
and it was short.
Yeah,
so just the level of athleticism and poise and just wanting to catch the ball, doing whatever was necessary to catch that ball was absolutely freaking amazing.
I just want to know what was in what kind of Gatorade they were drinking.
What they put in them and at the second half, because oh my goodness.
Yes, Pickens was 9 for 9. I was so proud of him.
He didn't earn his money.
Absolutely.
He didn't earn his money. So what did you think about the defense?
Well, I mean, listen.
We stuck it up the first half. But
and there was mental mistakes and mistakes that kind of ran the score up a little bit. But the way that they neutralized Saquon Barkley, and I think I even said that in
10 carries, 20.
in the other group, the Black Women Loves Football group. I said neutralize Saquon and see what happens. Make him throw. Make him have to throw.
Yeah,
and see what's going to happen.
Kelz talked about, they had them in they ran a 50 front, which was something that they normally don't do. And so here down on our level in middle school, we always run a 50 front because most teams run the ball probably 80% of the time. So I love that they made that adjustment to run a 50 front when that's normally not the Cowboys way. Kelz, thanks for bringing that point.
Yeah. I'm just listen.
I'm just ecstatic again, just ecstatic at the fact that it was the largest comeback in history, and we were able to sit here and watch the game and witness it. Listen, because now you can beat anybody.
Okay, and
after seeing that game, you're like, okay, this is the world champion Eagles. They're still at the top of the division. They're still where are they at? And
they're one. They're number one.
They're still number
one in the whole league. Yeah, the number one team in the league.
But don't tell me that game didn't matter, because they had children at school punching Cowboys, and then you're gonna say the game. Then you're gonna say the game don't matter. I'm like, you got 6 more games. It's gonna matter. Trust me.
That game matters.
Did you see the Cowboys Victory Monday post?
No.
Where they had the route. I think it was Rowdy in the middle, and then they had 2 of the punching bags. One had Dak, and I think the other one had CeeDee Lamb. And then coming down the steps, you see a beat up eagle.
Yes. I was proud of all of them. They came together as a team, and they did what they needed to do to stay in the season.
And I hope it was for Marshawn, or maybe somebody. I would love to hear if somebody says something like, what would Marshawn think if he was in here and we was down 21 points?
Right.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be playing for him.
Yeah. And then one thing they did, preparing for this game, Ricky, you going to get your food. I'm sorry, this dog of ours. She looking at me because she heard a bag rattling.
Oh, that's my dog too.
But so they have waived Kyer Elam. They did that gearing up to that game. So he was waived, not released. And he could be signed back to the practice squad, in 24 hours after being cleared for the waiver wire. In doing so, of waiving him, they signed Malik Davis, who was our other running back. He is now RB2 to the 53-man roster. I think we still, and plus he was out of elevations from the practice squad to be moved up to the game day. They did not dress Jalen Tolbert, so he was a healthy scratch. And I think it's still one extra spot on the 53-man roster because they're keeping Marshawn Nealon on the 53-man roster. So he went down to a defensive end 3 or a defensive end 4. So his family will still get the game check. They're going to continue. So this will be the second year on his rookie year deal. So they're going to finish out that. So he's still going to get whatever money
that he was going to get paid this year,
right? In the next 2 years, and then when that happens, once that ends, then they're going to put him on the practice squad, so he can get practice squad money. So let's just say, like, I don't have no playoff hopes. I did not have no playoff hopes for this year. But let's say if we make a run in the playoffs and we go in post game, he will get that post game check. Let's say if someone nominates him as an honor for the Pro Bowl, he will get that Pro Bowl money. So there's ways that they are keeping his legacy alive and making sure his family is straight. So that happened. And what we was talking about before we came online, they're in their four back-to-back game gauntlet, which is like a 18-day stretch, and that consisted of the game with the Raiders, the one that just passed with the Eagles, the one that's coming up Thursday with the Chiefs, and the December 4th game against the Lions. And with that one, they actually going to have a full practice week leading up to that game. So that's all for that. I don't know what my computer just did. Here we go. And this is the first time that we can actually do a show and we could talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
This game. So the practice reports came out yesterday. So yesterday was a walkthrough. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 14 names on the practice report. The one that was just added was Kalen Carson. He wasn't on the practice report for yesterday, but he was a limited practice for a hamstring. And they really don't have a designation for what happened to him on the game against the Eagles. He had to come out the game for a while and get hooked up to an IV for dehydration, because when he came out of a play, he was on the end of the field, projectiling. So so he still wasn't feeling well. Like I said, it was no practice yesterday. So today they had a full practice. They're in pads this week. They're actually going to be in pads leading up to this game. So they put him back on the IV. So for the designation, they just put hamstring, because if you're dehydrated, anything can happen, like to your abdominal muscles in your hamstring. Jadavion Jatavian,
Clowney.
yeah, Clowney. He is designated as a neck injury. He was limited for yesterday and today. Dante Fowler, same thing. His was a shoulder. Malik Hooker is still listed for the toe and thigh injury that he had earlier in the season, so he's working through it. Osa Digazua, he landed some kind of way when he knocked Jalen Hurts off his kilter. He hit his elbow, so he was a limited participant. George Pickens, he was limited today.
His ankle, right?
His was a knee and a calf.
Mm.
He was limited. Kavontae Turpin, it was his shoulder, and he had a stomach bug on yesterday. They still have to release it. If you break a fingernail, you're going to end up on a practice report. If you sneeze, you're going to end up on a practice report.
Okay.
But he was limited today. Donovan Wilson, he was limited. So for the full practices, James Houston, Deron Bland, Hunter Lipke. If y'all haven't noticed about Hunter Lipke, they finally put him in the tight end spot, and he has been killing it. Tyler Smith, our guard, he was a full participant, as well as Solomon Thomas was a full participant. So Tyler Guyton, our left tackle, if you didn't see on the game, because I saw the play, and when I saw what happened, I said that's going to be a high sprained ankle injury, which it was. So he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So Nate Thomas, who I really like, he is a hybrid tackle. He plays both sides. So he will be coming in for the left tackle position on Thursday. For the Kansas City Chiefs, their tight end Noah Gray, he's in concussion protocol, so look for him not to play. Trey Smith, their guard, he's designated as an ankle. And he did not participate, and it looked like he will not be.
Oh, he's major.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, Kelz, is it me? Tiffany, is it me?
No.
Okay. You just froze, Kelz. Oh well. We're good. She'll be back.
Yeah. So the Chiefs offense has everybody on. I mean, he's got all his weapons back. He's got Hollywood Brown. He's got what's the other kid? Number 1. Yeah, basically
about no cheese.
Yeah. He's got all his receivers back. He's got his center back Simmons.
Okay.
But last week against the Colts, they barely made it. Basically, their game was very close to being very similar to ours. They had 3 trips to the red zone and did not score a touchdown. And they barely won 23-20 against the Colts. But the Colts are, they're like 8.
The Colts are one of the best teams in the league right now.
Exactly. So I'm thinking it's going to be a very close game. I think the team. I think it's going to be a very close game. I'm a little nervous,
right?
But I see we have very similar issues with our team. Yeah.
So they got the Kansas City Chiefs at a 4.5 point favor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could go. Yeah, that could go either.
That could go either way.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, matter of fact, I think it's the same thing we kind of talked about even with the Eagles game. That it was kind of close. We felt like it could go either, and it did. It was 3-point game. Except I think the Eagles were a 3-point favorite, weren't they?
Yeah, 3.5 point.
They were 3.5 point favorite, and we ended up winning by a field goal. But we knew that. But we hoped that was going to be a good game. We didn't know the first half was going to be as dramatic as it was. But the same thing with this. I think the Dallas game, the Kansas City game, could go either way. Are we in Dallas or are we playing at Arrowhead? It's not even Arrowhead anymore. What's it called? What's the stadium called now?
I'm sorry.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I think we're at home. Home.
We're at home. Okay, cool. So at least we're not going to the cold on Thanksgiving.
No, our Thanksgiving games is always at home.
Always at home? Okay, cool. Okay, I love it. Well, they're saying the matchup predictor, they're saying a 63.6 chance that the Kansas City Chiefs will win. Again, I think that if we run the 50 front and prevent Kareem Hunt from doing anything, and then now we just gotta, put somebody on Travis Kelce, who's always gonna have a good game. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I like that 50 front.
And it came out today that Isaiah Pacheco, he's been full practice for his knee injury, so his status is active. So he will be playing.
Okay. So now
a lot of defenses has been holding them.
Yeah.
So,
but this is Patrick Mahomes. He always figures out a way. You know what I mean? Like, defensive coordinator, it's just hard. It's hard to prepare for him because he's kind of like Lamar Jackson when Lamar is healthy. He can make so many plays happen with his legs. It's not even funny, and it's hard to account for that.
Yeah.
Unless you put a spy on him, but and as soon as somebody figures out who the spy is, it's a wrap.
The spy is more than likely for this game will be Demo, because Logan Wilson is going to, he's been wearing the green dye helmet, so he's going to be the communicator between the front seven and our secondary.
Okay.
And the only thing I will have to do now is start looking at game planning. Like, are they running zone or are they more man to man? I think there's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
With this team, they still got what's his name, Smagnolia. Their OC.
Spagnolia.
Yeah.
He's a bad man.
I mean, I like him. He's bad. I mean, he's so creative.
He's so good.
I like him.
Yeah.
And I also like Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, they need to bring him back. Honestly, I think their offense has been not quite right
since Bieniemy has
right.
Maybe that might be good for us, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But then check this out though. For our defense, the grade report came out for our defense. And since the trade deadline in their bye, the Cowboys is showing improvement compared to their first 9 games. So points allowed from week 9, from weeks 1 through 9, it was 30.8, and they were 30 in 31 place. After the trade, it went to 18.5, and they're in 11th place. Total yards per games allowed, 397.4. They was in 31st place. Now it's 285.5, and they're in 7th place. Rushing yards per game allowed, they were in 29th place with 143. It's now down a lot to 45, and they're in 2nd place. Takeaways. As far as
Whoa.
takeaways in the
What a
game, it
dramatic.
was a 0.8 and they tied 23rd. After they're 1.5 and they tied in 8th. Sacks per game is 2.2 and they tied in 17th. Now after the trade is 2.5 and they tied in 7th place.
Wow. I mean, between what a great trade.
Mm-hmm.
And it's moments like that you can't be mad at Jerry. Because Jerry obviously knew what the heck he was doing. Jerry knocked this one out the box.
Yeah.
He did. He knocked it out the box, But also, if when you're coming from a team at the dead bottom, and then you get pulled and you get to go to a team that's at least halfway decent, that would make me want to play harder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I would want to see what does success feel like, because I'm not used to it.
Right. And then you have with Quinnian Williams, Solomon Thomas, and Perion Winfrey, who is another big body dude. Aaron Whitecotton was their coaches when they was with the Jets. And then when you look at, because I can't do the math now, but I could give an estimate. When you look at our whole front seven, even with the rotational pieces, and including the two linebackers, DeMarvion Overshown and Logan Wilson.
Overshown had a great game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're talking about close to 4,500 pounds of D linemen.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was like, oh Lord.
So the only thing that needs to be revamped is the secondary. When we getting rid of Diggs?
So here's the thing. I think, and that's what I said. Sometimes Cowboy fans are
I'm being a hypocrite, because I'm always, like you said, I'm always the last person to say anything negative about players, because I know what it's like to be on that side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me say, as far as with the player thing, he has had 2 ACL surgeries since 2013. Well,
you don't have to say anything else, because I've had 2 ACL surgeries 2
Yeah.
years apart. I get it.
Yeah. So a lot of it is mental.
That's mental.
A lot of mental thing, because you're not the player that you was.
That you used to be. Yes. And you're afraid to really go all out like you did before, because you don't know whether or not you're going to re-injure it again. So exactly. I totally get it. Yeah. I digress.
So even if that wasn't the case, and it's just almost like with Dak Prescott, you can have a ball out season, and then when you have what they call the sophomore jinx, and you regress, you're not like you was in your first season. Oh, cut him. He did. I'm like, but y'all was all on his jock strap last year when he was doing as long as
he was going in.
Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know that when it comes to a cornerback, not only you're trying to snatch the ball for a pick, you also have to cover.
Your job is to cover first,
right? And if you just so happen to get a pick in the meantime, oh well, that's just a bonus.
Icing on the cake,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I get. Like I have to apologize. I get it.
So you have that part, but then we also have to look at the financial thing, because right now,
where is he at on his contract?
He has 2 more years. So here's the thing. right now we have $21,596,685 in cap space, and that money can roll over till next year. The league is slated to get close to $300 billion. So when you divide that, yeah. So when you
Where that money
divide,
coming from?
Us.
listen, I want to give Roger Goodell my Zelle information.
I need to
So-
start getting on the website, figuring out. There's a football analyst course that's like $1,800 that I've really been thinking about taking. Because baby,
So when you divide that 300, that money in 32 ways, the Cowboys will be getting somewhere in the ballpark of $65 million. So if that rolls, so you take that,
the 65 and add what's already in the
that
salary
21
cap,
mil
that
what's
rolls up
there, we're going to have close to 90
almost
million
90,
some odd dollars.
almost 90 million.
And we
That's a
have
lot
to
of money.
pay, yeah, and we have to pay Brandon Aubrey,
We got to pay Brandon, even though
Pickens.
I don't know how he missed that ball
Yeah.
yesterday. We got to pay Pickens.
Yeah, we
Pickens
have to
earned
pay
his money.
Pickens, but here's the beauty with Pickens. So right now, the trade deadlines and any type of contract negotiations is over. However, you can extend because somebody on the Rams got extended on Saturday, either Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, you could get an extension on your
You
contract.
could get an extension.
Oh.
So if the Cowboys do the extension, or they wait until the new league year starts March 11th of next year to sign them without a franchise tag clause, his money really won't take effect until 2027.
Okay.
So we have to pay Javonte Williams. We have to pay Brandon Aubrey, and there's one other player. But the beauty of it is we will have no dead money on the books where we will have to pay a player that's no longer on the
roster.
Right. So they will no longer be on our books. When it comes to Trayvon Diggs, if he is traded when the new league year starts, or if he's released, we will still be liable and accountable for that contract, which means it's dead money back on the book where we don't want it.
So we'll keep him, and we'll pray for him that he needs to go seek one of the psychologists to figure out his mind block, so that he can, so he can get it back together.
And I think, I think some people in the front office, and I think some people in the front office was getting at their wits end with him, because that saying, like, don't let people be your downfall. He was really letting Micah Parsons be his downfall with a lot of antics that was going on in training camp. And he was, right beside Micah Parsons with all the antics and all
the drama stuff.
And then
because they said that he was really distraught that Micah left.
He was. And then
I get it, because y'all been together and you formed a brotherhood, and I mean,
and I know it was on the other podcast that we getting ready to jump off on, and they was talking about him not reporting to training camp for all that stuff. And I had to put the correction up there. When he did his off training, it was when he was doing his physical rehab in Florida. It's the same place that him and his brother has always been going to, even when they was in college in Miami. It happened during the off season.
So
But
why are they holding that against him?
because this is why, because the team, all teams was permitted back in their buildings for training in April. He still stayed in
Oh,
Miami,
gotcha.
even though it was still the off season. When they were allowed back interest into the facility, their respective team's facility,
He should have had his. He should have had his.
he should have been there to finish the training.
Right.
So by
That's
him not doing that, he
was it a
forfeited.
$500,000?
Yeah, he forfeited that money.
Yeah.
And that was in his contract.
Right. Oh well,
So,
you gotta know what's in your contract, boo.
Yeah. And that's in everybody's contract. Like if you're injured and stuff, it doesn't matter what you're doing in off season. Just like Michael Parsons in April when they had the voluntary OTAs. That's not mandatory.
Right.
He was, his birthday is in May. So he took a trip for his birthday to Europe. He didn't have to be at mandatory OTAs. But that June mandatory or OTAs, that's mandatory. You have to be there for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's what happened. He didn't report when he was supposed to in April to train.
So aside from the mental health issues going on around the injury, there sounds like there's some maturity issues as well that need to be addressed.
Yep. The same thing with Parsons.
You have to realize that men are like that. They don't speak good. Sometimes they're in their 30s and 40s before they really get it. You know what I mean? And that's just no shade against men, but that's
the way it is.
It's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, any last thoughts? What are our predictions for this Kansas City game? They got us at a 3.5.
Talking about Patrick Mahomes. We're talking about a dude who,
I mean, he's already got a gold jacket.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking about a team and a quarterback that the Cowboys could have 45 points on the board.
Yes.
And
he'll figure out a way. 45 points on the board with 3 minutes left, and he'll figure out a way to come back and win.
All Patrick Mahomes need is a minute and 45 minutes. And they can only have 15 points on the game. But trust me, in that 1 minute and 45 seconds, he could drop 50.
Yeah.
That part. Yes.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody asked me who had more pressure in this game, Patrick Mahomes or Dak. I'm going to say Dak. Definitely 1,000%. Mahomes has already solidified his place in history. He has rings. All he is padding it at this point, right?
Absolutely.
So
he's already
definitely Dak. He has to go out there and lead his team to a victory. He has to pull a Mahomes.
He has to pull a Mahomes. Tiffeany,
that's really what he has to do.
All the pressure is on Dak. He's the one that don't have a ring.
That's right.
And you know what? And this other group that I'm in, Tiffeany, I know you in it, Official America's team.
Yes.
So hold on, let me find yesterday's practice report. No, it's not on. This was on my victory post. So I said happy Cowboys victory Monday. I said, except for those who, 1, spent years trashing Dak, 2, never around in the rough trenches, but celebrate the triumphs. And I said, and many more. It was a whole lot of things I could have named.
Yes.
I said, you don't have the privilege to celebrate the win. So a certain person said, in no way, shape, or form, a fan of Dak. Never have been. But I will say the man pulled it off last night. Again, he's great. He's a great dude, an absolute amazing human. but I think he's not going to be the one to bring a championship back to Dallas. So I came back. Hold on, you're on mute.
I'm on mute. My daughter had called. Okay, I gotta go. But we didn't even talk about all the records that he's getting ready. Like
Yes.
Troy Aikman has 3 rings, and Dak's record is better than his.
He surpassed his, Romo, and Roger Staubach.
Yes.
He's not the problem. He's not the problem.
He's not the problem.
So here was my
We need
response.
CeeDee Lamb to catch the ball.
Right. So here was my response. I said, well, I know some are not a fan of his, but this is not the platform to happily rag them out. Which means they have an issue that he's a black quarterback. Let's just be real.
And let's just be real.
And the person who wrote this is of the other persuasion. Gotcha. And I said, as far as his abilities bringing a championship, this quote basically sums it up. And Louis Riddick on First Take said, why do we keep attaching everything that happens with Dallas simply to Dak Prescott? He's not 53 guys wrapped into one.
That part.
Yep.
That part. You know what I mean? Like, like this game, when we needed you to get off the field, they got off the field.
Right.
But earlier, when we needed them to get off the field on defense, they didn't get off the freaking field.
Right.
And they allowed other teams to extend their plays and allow them to score. Or, we get our ankles broke.
Hello.
Because I ain't forgot about that. I ain't going to never forget that.
Right. The man in the grass.
Yes. Yes. Well, ladies, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. How about the Cowboys? So we're going to flip on over to still on YouTube to Black Women Love Football, and we're going to talk about the East Ain't Easy. For those of y'all that coming out, there's people that I saw people hop on and off, but most of the time I can't see who's on until I go back and look at the numbers, and then there's lots of people that be on and I don't even realize that they watched. But thank y'all for tuning in. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, definitely share. If you want to be featured or come on, I have to vet you first. I have to vet you first to make sure you don't come on here with no foolishness, but we may allow you in our space. We'll see. But other than that, we don't. These are the only 2 I really trust right now. That could come on and talk, intelligently with some sense and not come with any foolishness. So tomorrow is my regular podcast. I have Coach Joker Phillips, who has been a coach for 38 years. He played at the University of Kentucky with my husband. He was the first Black coach here at Kentucky. He did 1 stint with the Cleveland Browns, but most of it has been in college. He's presently the associate head coach at North Carolina State University, and he's coming on my podcast tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. We gonna I'm just excited because he was the offensive coordinator when he was here, when he was under Coach Brooks. So hopefully he'll let me pick his brain a little bit. But anyway, so that's who so make sure you come in tomorrow. But right now, what I need y'all to do is go over to Black Women Love Football, and we're going to talk about the East Ain't Easy, because the East ain't easy. So ladies, appreciate you. And how about them Cowboys?
How about the
Cowboys?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And hopefully we get this dub on Thanksgiving Day. It'll just set it off. All right, ladies, I love y'all.
Love you.
Bye.
See you on the other side.
Yes, ma'am.